This film it was a collaboration between young people from the Western Desert and young people from the northeast of Brazil in Pernambuco, from the desert areas of just east of Recife, and yeah, it was all these young people that we work with mainly do community artwork here in WA and in Brazil. So yeah, I'll show you the film and we can talk about it after. And yeah.
Why we moved out to our country from Jigalong? The problems that we've been experiencing in Jigalong, and we've moved back now onto our traditional country here from Cotton Creek and further other side Lake Disappointment, and it goes further east towards Windy Corner. That is our traditional country, and the people have moved out here permanently. This is not a holiday camp.
Em Itacuruba, Pernambuco, o nome do povo é um povo Pancará. O meu povo, nós moramos lá na aldeia Serrote dos Campos, em Itacuruba, é o mesmo povo, e somos povo Pancará, que a gente tem uma ligação com o pessoal de Pancararu, que eles abraçaram a nossa causa. A gente tem um grande respeito por todo o povo Pancararu. E é um povo que sempre nos der apoio. A gente temos a ligação desde a época dos antepassados. Os nossos antepassados andavam lá para a ilha do Surubabel, aí iam para a Serra do Arapuá. E sempre os nossos antepassados, mais velhos, sempre tinham essa ligação de pontos. Eles iam para lá, o pessoal vinha para cá. E continua essa mesma amizade, né?
A mesma luta, né?
A mesma luta. Luta por quando eles têm uma demanda, precisa da gente, a gente vai. Quando a gente precisa deles, a gente vai. Eles vêm. Quando a gente vai fazer um evento, na nossa aldeia, eles vão para lá. Do mesmo jeito eles quando faz, a gente vem. E até hoje a gente vive assim. Hoje, que a gente sempre tem essa ligação de povo. Sempre a gente conhece sempre os vizinhos, nossos mesmos parentes. Que é o povo Cararu, o povo Aticum, o povo Puxá, o Pacararé.
Ngana Wangan ba Panurta about 109 kilometers from Kintai. Ngam nga bijinga nga rin baginda nga uranium walbal wajan wajko nga nalo riddle bani wolo nga rin malba kentil kerala jongora nyinin pa Mamu lambat jan kui kerala janin ba jiwa nang bara yarin pa jawal ko ya waj ko man ko potari waj ko rik waringa karunga already salty one ring like a lake bed you're you may janingo nabijan cyclone jukaring wangan jukaring ni kalyolo kon mon bongolo galyonga kuware ya jawal jago yan ko ya birwela nya to pundunga para yan ko kawala pungal ko jijinga charba ko bala ko gan malbangku para yan ko ayum mayurong pungal ko ulambanga rawa nyina malbarad rawa.
And we'd like to see this country mining free and uranium that people understand should be left in the ground, not taken out of the ground.
So that was when I first went to Brazil. I went to a conference in São Paulo, and met with indigenous mob over there, and wanted to still have this connection with them, ongoing connection with them from with Western Desert to Latin America, and so the second time I went out there. They invited me to come out, and a friend of mine, we traveled together, a filmmaker from Melbourne, two filmmakers, and so I was talking with the elders over there, and we realized that we still had similarities in different issues for our country, and in terms of land and country and how people are struggling on a daily basis, with their lives. So so I'm an artist. I worked in making short films first. My first short film was Mamu, and it was a story about how Martu are starting to using internet, and it was still kind of new when it came out to regional areas, and it was set in Newman. So and it was kind of a warning of like the dangers of how you can use technology for good or for not so good things. So the second time I went there, the first time I went there after the meeting in São Paulo, we went to not just meet with indigenous mob out in the country, but also some of the indigenous communities that were left their country to live in São Paulo, and it was those young people recording their stories of the move back from São Paulo to their traditional areas, and a friend of mine that I traveled with at the time, Lisa Stefanov, we stayed with her friend in Rio, who they went to school together in NYU and in New York at film school there. So Isabel's dad was is a famous documentary filmmaker and makes films in youth in the favelas, so we got to see that side, got to see projects in the happening in the favelas with, of course, like all the people that live in the favelas with their permission, and, some of the, people who run that favela make sure we're safe in that area. So that was the first trip that I went over, and I still wanted to keep this connection going between Western Desert and Latin America. We're talking about just recently we started talking just in a couple of months ago about doing maybe a show of indigenous artists or Australian artists and Latin American artists exhibiting together in some way, in some form. It's just like really early stages. It's all talk now, but that's what we'd like to do and work towards. And still, I think with the work. So this was shown at for Space 2 during PF. I don't know if it was the year before. So it was shown alongside another installation that me and another Melbourne-based artist at the time, Lily Hibbert, did, was a phone booth installation. So we went out for that. We went out bush to this station, Billanook, and stripped this decommissioned phone booth and brought it to Fremantle for We Don't Need a Map, and suspended in the air with a 3-channel video, and people talking about how they use or why they use the phones for business or for everyday life, or as a means of communication between different stations that people worked on at the time. And I think one of the strongest thing was during the opening weekend that the show was on. There was this guy who was working, who worked for Telstra back when they were putting in phone booths all over the Pilbara, the northwest, and he was upset, but he was also happy at the time because he saw that people were using, they made this technology their own, but he was, worried about, at the time there was no consultation about, we're just going to put this phone booth out and how people are going to use it, So I think, that, and you could see how Martu used, transform that object to, how they want to manipulate it for their lives, and I'm, a writer, filmmaker, mainly in films I started, but I'm working, moving, I want to work more in 2D and sculpture and stuff like that. So, this show, In Cahoots, coming up 24th of November here at Fremantle Arts Centre. Been working on a sculpture, and Abdul been giving me advice and tips and stuff like that about, this is my first kind of sculpturing work. So we'll see how it turns out. But still have a connection back to the area, to Latin America, because I don't know if you guys seen the project that I worked on was called Collisions. It's a virtual reality project. It was here at PF and work alongside Lynette Walworth. So it was really good news. This year we took out an Emmy in New York. So that's pretty awesome to bring something back, WA. And the second project that they're currently doing now is another VR project in the Amazon area on the Chilean side, and we're still having these these connections to that region anyway, and we're trying to bring some of the young people that work in community artwork, doing community artwork with their young people in different towns in the region to WA, and trying to do an exchange between us, and Yeah, the first project that I worked on when kind of an exchange project was between young people from Western Sydney and Western Desert. So we went over to Fairfield, Cabramatta, Liverpool area and worked with Curious Works at that time. And yeah, it was for us, I guess, an eye opener to travel, to Sydney for 2 weeks and then making work every day with these young people and for them to come over to WA, making work with us. Yeah, no, it's yeah, really good. Yeah, the main important thing for me, that like when I work on productions and stuff like that, whenever they're coming into the Pilbara, to the region, or to the northwest, other projects like that I worked on in the last couple of years with French production, just about a cooking show, and Netflix, and so we had crew from from France and from America come over at different times, but working with young people and I guess for me living down here in Perth, to every time I go back, just make sure that it's really imperative that some of the young people that are interested in filmmaking, storytelling, that they get a role, whether big or small, within the production, working alongside the crews on the ground. So yeah, it's been a good ride, and still continuing to make work, and we got some other exciting shows for that we're working towards here in Perth, and some of the artists are here that like Tim Burns and Olga, so but I'll just leave it like that.